Wow, the short signal for Bitcoin is here. Get ready. We're going to see how much money the bears truly have. I'm already seeing the volume pile in here. There goes the 597 Bitcoin volume here. You look at this candle right here, the dark red candle right after the indecisive candle. That was our signal right there. Over the last 20 minutes, the signal has formed for Bitcoin. They're going to start shorting the fuck out of this Bitcoin. And we have liquidations that come back down to 68K. We measure down. Probably over 5% drop. The bears have so much cash while they were waiting on this pump. And I think this is that prime entry for their shorts again. The shorts last time above 72K worked out very well. Doge from the last sell half signal is down about 4% over the course of 2 hours. Elon may take a break from tweeting about Doge, but keep in mind, we could have a very big dip on Doge, very big retrace before the Halloween Dogecoin tweet. So, keep in mind. So, probably even Elon Halloween tweet may not even be able to pump Doge as much after this. But the volume, the sell volume, this has been the biggest sell volume that you guys have seen in hours, piling up here in a very short period of time. We haven't had sell volume on Bitcoin like this in hours. Look at this. Look at this. Only big buys, small sells. Big buys, small sells. Now when we zoom out here, and I just focus on Bitcoin, look over here. Look at the volume. You see? Big buys, small sells. Big buys, small sells. Big buys, very irrational candle right here. This was over 7. This is like a big volume candle. Like this was our biggest 5-minute candle right here, 1,700 Bitcoin. It is a very big volume, but now we have the biggest volume red candles forming right here. We can stretch this out. The biggest red candles are starting to form, and it's about 3 minutes of solid red candles forming for Bitcoin here. Market makers are about to pay themselves handsomely. They are going to make some cash today, especially before funding fees. They're going to come in. They're going to start liquidating all the people at FOMO at the top here. They already started liquidating all the people at FOMO on Doge. It's very disgusting looking at the charts here, but keep in mind, these liquidations are piling up. You can't FOMO in on every single top and expect the breakout to break out. We're going to use some data from CoinGlass because I just want to show you how much the market makers are able to push this down. So about $18 million worth of Bitcoin positions have been liquidated so far in the last hour. But Dogecoin, let me show you. I like looking at this chart because it's a reminder of what's being liquidated and where it's being liquidated. So over here, all this green, these are longs predominantly liquidated. So we're at the crosshairs here. Bitcoin had a divergence from the altcoins, which means eventually probably Bitcoin is going to come back down and these longs are going to get liquidated even more. Over $1.89 million worth of Doge positions were liquidated. Majority long, 1.59 million worth longs. So longs generally get wrecked more than shorts when it comes to crypto because people long the tops. They have that fear of missing out called FOMO. Ethereum, over 1.7 million worth of longs liquidate. But Bitcoin's different. Bitcoin liquidated more shorts in the last hour. I believe this is that crossing point where everything go up near the local top. People try along that local top, they're getting liquidated and probably going to start coming back down. And if you look over here, the short ratio, the shorts too much percentage. Eventually, like look at this, OKS 81%, Binance 71%. Market makers are about to flip this. You see right here, we're about to have a big green candle on liquidations like this. A big green candle means longs are going to get liquidated. It's going to be the nastiest green liquidations you've seen. We're probably going to liquidate over $800 million worth of longs because people are going long at the tops up here. And the market makers are about to get paid. Market makers can trade against the people. They can hedge their positions. And they can use very small amounts of money to liquidate millions of dollars of positions. So be very careful. We're already seeing signs that longs are getting liquidated up here. They're already starting to shed cash. Elon's calmed down on the Dogecoin tweets. So he gave us many points of being able to take profits. I put the sell half signal up there earlier today. I believe that's a very firm spot to sell half of the wallet just in case we don't make it to 36 cents before Christmas. That's my hedge, to use the wallets, just half of it. And then if it goes down before Christmas, big dip from wash shells and stuff, yeah, I can buy more. But right here, I think from the sell half signal, Dogecoin probably can eventually make it back to the 10 cents range. We can probably make it back to the 10 cents range. But a lot of longs are getting liquidated up here. This is a battleground. It's one thing buying on spot. It's another thing being long. But my warning to you is that these longs are going to be liquidated in mass. A lot of these longs up here at the top, if you're going long at the top, you're going to get liquidated here. The market makers, look on chain. They're already moving funds around. You already have a lot of ETH. You already have a lot of USDC, a lot of USDT moving around. When you look at the coin market cap, when you look at total crypto market cap, and then you have Bitcoin diverging away from altcoins for liquidations, eventually it comes back, and then it goes in the direction of the altcoins. Altcoins longs are getting liquidated. So that's going to come back down. It's going to pull money out. They're going to start liquidating Bitcoin longs, and they're going to start liquidating even more of these altcoin longs. You see here the liquidation levels up here. Look at this big red candle for Doge. 63 million volume. This red candle volume is bigger than a green candle volume. It's like the market maker been pumping this on the Elon tweets, but then they're selling it. And if people don't keep buying it, Doge can't hold its price up. Remember, Doge has infinite supply. Every single day, there's more Dogecoin supply being mined. Can Elon really pump it to $1 with the supply constantly increasing every day before the big bag holders like Robinhood start shifting away? I don't know. I think Robinhood has to dump a lot of their Doge before the market really takes hold. And as long as Robinhood has over 50% of the supply of Doge in their wallets, I think we could get big drops and big technical issues. Very big technical issues incoming. Bitcoin is already down over $100 from the short signal. Haven't had a short signal in a wild time. I think this is a predominantly good area for people shorting it. It did go to 73,600 and change. We started getting sell volume. Big volume on Doge. Over 63 million Doge. But we're cooking. How did you buy Dogecoin on Robinhood in the first place? Who sold you Dogecoin on Robinhood? Was it another person? Or did Robinhood already have that Dogecoin because they acquired the Dogecoin when it was under 1 penny? You see, Robinhood benefited more from Dogecoin than any other holder out there. They acquired most of the Dogecoin under 1 cent. They could sell the Dogecoin all the way down to 1 penny, drain all the liquidity, and still make over 1,000% profit. But here's the interesting thing about Doge. Supply keeps increasing. Supply keeps increasing. So the question is, what point of that supply increasing versus US dollar decreasing in value is it going to have a nice area? Man, it's going to be bad if Robinhood has a technical issue and Dogecoin drops 5 cents in one day. That's going to be something right there. Man, if Robinhood has a technical issue and Doge goes from 17 cents to 12 cents on a technical issue and people can't trade on a technical issue, it's going to suck to suck. Oh, man. No. So crypto and economics, they work together. So you have to keep in mind, Dogecoin, yes, it is infinite supply, but as time goes on, it becomes even more expensive to mine Dogecoin. So that is something to consider. But there's also people out there and governments out there that can kind of mine cryptocurrencies at very little cost to themselves. When you're a world leader and you have your own energy grid, if you're someone like El Salvador, you can mine crypto without very little cost. But eventually it does get more expensive to mine Doge. But at what point does it become too expensive to mine Doge that the price can go up from their transaction fees? It's a very, I don't know, maybe like 10 years from now. It could be less. If AI really takes hold and we get better processors, better GPUs, if we get better computing chips, probably a year or two, mining is going to be a lot easier and a lot cheaper. That's the threat to crypto proof of work is innovation. Actually, if you're buying Bitcoin, you're betting against the US innovators. If you're buying Bitcoin, you're betting against Jensen Huang from Nvidia. If you're buying Bitcoin, you're betting against Elon Musk. If you're buying Bitcoin, you're betting against artificial intelligence. You think that computing power will not increase over time. That's what you're betting against. You're betting that computer innovation will not get tough enough, smart enough to crack seed phrases. That's what you're betting against. But I'm a proud American. I know our innovation is getting there. Eventually, we're going to have technology that can crack every single seed phrase in a matter of minutes. Our technology is going to outperform Bitcoin. So if you're buying Bitcoin, you're betting that people like Jensen Huang aren't going to be able to make better graphic cards. You're betting that people like Jensen Huang, a man that took a graphic card like this, Quadro, an old chip like this, 4 displays, like this is very low power for 4 big displays, 1080p. This $50 GPU can do 4K resolution. You can do 4 1080p monitors. If you're buying Bitcoin and you're holding Bitcoin in a wallet, you're betting your money and your life earnings that they're not going to develop a technology that can crack your seed phrase. Technology grows fast. Jensen Huang is one of the smartest CEOs that can break that rule. You think that they're not going to be able to develop chips that can crack seed phrases? You're in for a rude awakening. Computers have only gotten better since I've been alive in the 90s. Computers have excelled. Look at this. You have these type of cards now for gamers like 4080 Supers that people would never have imagined 10 to 20 years ago. They would have never imagined that a chip like this, with the AVS encoder built in, 120 frames per second built in, could ever exist. But let me tell you what these computers cannot do. These computers cannot crack gold. They can't crack gold. And gold will outperform Bitcoin over time. Why? Because they're going to be able to make computers that can crack seed freezes. Look at my gold chart. I mentioned gold going to go over 19,000 per ounce. They're going to need a lot of gold for these quantum computers. They're going to need a lot of gold, very precise, very small gold, very flat. They're going to need to get gold. And gold is going to go parabolic. Because once they learn how to turn this gold into the very special chips that can crack Bitcoin seed phrases, Bitcoin price go down, gold price go up. They're going to have to make a fork. They're going to have to fork Bitcoin eventually to make it more secure. And if Satoshi Nakamoto is gone, you better pray that the community can fork it, because a lot of this liquidity is tied to Bitcoin. And if the computers get better over time, well, you're going to see people lose their crypto to AI. You're going to see hackers get into wallets just by guessing. It's not hard for these people to guess a seed phrase. It's hard to guess a specific seed phrase. But you're going to be able to have AI checking seed phrases, see if it's a wallet, boom. If there's something in there, they're going to withdraw. And they're going to rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's going to create a vortex, probably happen within the next 5 years. Satoshi Nakamoto never imagined that Bitcoin price would get this high, 72,000. The higher the Bitcoin price goes, the better it is for these quantum computers and hackers to try to get as many seed phrases as possible per day. Because if they only have to spend $1,000 per hour, as long as they can get one Bitcoin in 72 hours of computing, they win, break even. And as computers get better and cheaper, well, Bitcoin becomes less secure. Bitcoin is not secure as computers get better, because the only thing protecting your Bitcoin is A, seed phrase, B, multisig. AI will be able to eventually hack Bitcoin seed phrases. It will be able to compile a list of every single phrase, compile a list of every single combination, and they're going to have to eventually fork Bitcoin. When they fork Bitcoin, the thing you see here on the charts, this value of this Bitcoin will go to zero, probably. The only way it won't go to zero on this chart, because this chart's USDT, if Tether depegs, it will go to 10 billion Tether, because Tether depegs. Tether goes to zero as well. But eventually, over time, this Bitcoin that you see on this chart, we're not going to be trading this Bitcoin. Eventually, in the future, in a few years from now, we're going to be trading the forked version of Bitcoin that has more secure measures to protect against quantum computers and AI. The current way we have the seed phrases isn't strong enough. And the government's already looking into that. People are looking into that. Data scientists are looking into this. Crypto is not secure against quantum computing and AI just by a list of seed phrases. When you see how fast they're developing chips, you realize, and how fast NVIDIA can build. NVIDIA did some really great stuff with their warehouse. But NVIDIA, their GPUs is crazy. And keep in mind, like, look, even people figuring out how to hack GPUs now too. Like, hackers are able to get like even like this garbage shit right here. I'm not trying to throw this company under the bus, but even shit like this Trezor eventually can be hacked. This is garbage. 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 These chips are very prone now. You can get into the PCIe of these chips when you put them on a board. You can get into the processor. They're not secure enough. The encryption is not strong enough. Computers are just overnight, just from last night to today, the gap has been filling. So it's getting very risky. for the people trading stuff like Bitcoin. And even passwords and stuff. He died on the game. But man, even people figure out how to hack GeForce software recently using some vulnerabilities. So you have to update your GPU, you have to update your Windows, you have to be very careful. I'm gonna post the news in the news channel, but guys, this is very scary. I'm gonna put it in the news channel. But computers are getting better. If you're betting on Bitcoin, you're betting that computers will not get better. So I put that link in the news channel. If you're in Discord, check the news channel to protect against the recent exploits. Update your drivers. There's been a security breach as well with some of the NVIDIA cards. And this can affect your operating system kernel as well, which could lead to code execution and escalation of privileges. Is crazy. But if you're betting on Bitcoin, you're betting that technology will not get better. Even 1,000-word seed phrase, joking. Computer processors are only getting better. And when you look at technology, we already have 50 series GPUs coming out. People getting better GPUs for gaming, video rendering, editing. They're gonna have to fork Bitcoin. Technology will end up outpacing Bitcoin. Bitcoin that you see here, the Bitcoin on the chart's not going to be the number one crypto traded. They're going to have to fork it eventually to make it more secure. It's just, it's a cool technology, but we're in that stage. We're kind of outgrowing it. We're starting to outgrow the Bitcoin stage as technology gets better. You see price go up on the charts, and as price goes up on the charts, it makes it better for hackers to come in, spend their time trying to get as much Bitcoin as they can from their hacking methods. And if they can sell the Bitcoin for 72,000 or above, most of these hackers are in the profits. They're doing social engineering. Social engineering doesn't cost a lot of money, just costs a lot of time. The brute force with the CPUs and GPUs and the computing chips, those are where the money comes. The electricity for computing to hack seed phrases and try to guess seed phrases might be on par with the amount of energy cost to mine one Bitcoin here. When you look at the numbers, so it's pretty bizarre. Would people spend that computing power trying to guess seed phrases, or would they spend that computing power mining Bitcoin? If they can sell the Bitcoin above 72K, okay. But the AI, it only has to guess the 12 words and put them in the exact order. And I think as AI and these computing chips get better, eventually a task of guessing 12 words and putting them in order should only take a few minutes once they get better. You don't have to, and these computing chips aren't trying to guess a specific address as seed phrase. They're just guessing random ones and withdrawing anything that they find. So every day, people checking their Bitcoin wallet and they're like, oh, where did my Bitcoin go? And they see it withdrawn out. As more and more people notice that trend of their Bitcoin disappearing from their wallet from these programs randomly guessing their seed phrases, you'll have people abandoning Bitcoin because technology will outpace Bitcoin. It will be a lot tougher to crack the 24-word seed phrases, but I think these computers are getting up there, getting better over time, and they're going to blow your mind. When you have computing chips that are able to guess seed phrases, people are going to try to abandon Bitcoin as fast as they can. Developers are going to panic. They're going to try to fork Bitcoin. But it does create a race to try to make the better computing power. As Bitcoin price goes up, is better for the hackers because they can make more money, obviously. The miners make money from selling their Bitcoin as the price goes up until there's a halving. And then when there's a halving, their reward's cut in half. And you're going to have all these Bitcoin maxis try to give you a very big number for guessing one specific Bitcoin account. But these computers don't have to guess one specific account. All they have to do is keep guessing random accounts until they find stuff. It's like fishing. And once they get it, they withdraw it. They're not trying to guess a specific person's seed phrase. They're just trying to guess as many random seed phrases and find what they can. There's going to be really good computers in the future. What we have now, what I have for running this stream, what we have back here, like for gaming and stuff, like I know a lot about computers. Like these chips, we would never imagine this chip about 10 years ago. This thing, what it can do, especially when you start getting oil cooling or water cooling, and you really push it, once you get into quantum computing, once you have the 0-degree temperature, and the particles just flowing as fast as possible, eventually these computers are going to be able to guess every single seed phrase. At the beginning, it's going to be slow. You're going to see 10 to 20 people per day posting on Reddit and stuff that their Bitcoin disappeared from their wallet. A year goes by, 100 to 200 people start complaining their Bitcoin's going from their wallet. Year number 3, thousands of people complaining their Bitcoin's gone. They're seeing AI and quantum computers taking their Bitcoin, guessing the seed phrases. Now, these people that are posting on Reddit and stuff in the future, they're not being specifically targeted. It's just that the AI and quantum computers are doing it randomly. They're guessing random seed phrases. And I think that's going to be the biggest point to keep people away from Bitcoin. That's if you're a firm, if you're dealing with Bitcoin and you're a registered company on the New York Stock Exchange, you have to warn your investors that's the number one risk of people trading Bitcoin is that it's possible, even though it's a very low possibility, it is possible for other computers to guess your seed phrase. And if they don't disclose that, people like me, if I'm holding shares of something like MicroStrategy and they fail to disclose that, well, investors can come in and sue them for failing to disclose it. But I'm just telling you, it's going to be very crazy in about 3 to 4 years how far computers come. We're about to take a major leap. If you saw any of the data centers from Tesla, Nvidia, even Facebook at Meta, they have a big data center here in North Carolina. Giant data center. Once these companies really start working and pushing out, they can process so much data. And people think you need a whole computer to do this. No, you can have thousands, tens of thousands of GPUs. You can have the giant GPUs, giant CPUs. Energy. Wow. But if you're buying Bitcoin, you're betting that technology will not get better. But you're also betting that the US dollar is going to go down in value as well. What do you think happens first? Technology gets to a stage where computers can randomly guess 10 Bitcoin wallets per day, or the US dollar value, the fiat value goes to zero against all the other currencies. I think America did a pretty good job of printing trillions of dollars At the same time, other countries were printing trillions. If you look now, the US dollar went up in value against the Russian ruble. The US dollar went up in value against the Canadian dollar. The US dollar went up in value against a lot of currencies, but went down a lot against Bitcoin. Well, over time, people buying Bitcoin because they fear the US dollar going down. What happens if they become one of the wallets that's friendly guests? Nothing's stopping you guys from randomly putting in random seed phrase words into wallets. Nothing's stopping the Chinese from having 1 million people per day operating computers to guess random seed phrases to crash the price of Bitcoin. There's no rule in place that stops those guys from randomly guessing seed phrases. And there goes Doge under 17 cents. If you sold half your Doge at 17.8, where would you buy it back in? I'm curious to see where you guys would buy your Doge back in. I know we have a lot of experts in the YouTube chat tonight. So tell me, if you sold half your Doge at 17.8, where would you start scaling back in? If you open a Bitcoin short at 72,800, where would you start taking profits? Buy Bitcoin if you think that US technology will not improve. Buy Bitcoin if you think Tesla and Nvidia will not be able to innovate into the future. Bitcoin will never go to Mars.